So I'm making a really cool bed scarf out of a cool striped fabric, which is kind of coarse. I would say it might have maybe some jute in it. I'm not sure, but that's what it feels like. And when I cut it, it's got these fibers that go everywhere. So it's just really cool, and the client is having me sew the stripes together kind of offset. So when it's finished, you'll see that. And I want to talk a little bit about some of the other details. This is the back. It is a chenille, heavy upholstery fabric. It's got kind of a rubbery back to it, and it's usually that would be really bad, but it's so soft on the front that I'm not mad about it. Normally I'd be mad about putting something like this on a bed, but this one is okay. And to make this bed runner or bed scarf, some people call this a bed scarf, some call it a bed runner. There's some kind of fancy French name for it, which I can't remember what it is, but I'll call it a bed scarf. So to make it softer, since it's going on the bed, we're putting this bump interlining, bump, B-U-M-P, inside the bed runner to make it super fluffy and soft. And so here's the front and the back, and this will be on the inside. And then it's gonna have a self-welt out of the stripe on the bias, and that will be around the edge. So I already have it kind of constructed here, and what I'm doing right now is taking out the staples that I used to keep the layers together while I was sewing it. So instead of using pins, I stapled my seam allowances together, because you can see without even measuring this how thick it is with all those layers. And I could even put a ruler up here and show you how thick that is. And thank goodness I have industrial sewing machines to handle the thickness of this. But instead of using pins, the staples keep all those layers together, and keep them from shifting around. And also I don't stab myself with a ton of pins in there. So that's kind of the most important tip I could share with you about this project is in using the staple. I keep wanting to call it a staple gun. It's not a staple gun like I use for cornices. It's just a stapler. It's not even a fancy like fabric stapler. It's just what you can get at an office supply store. And I think there are staplers that are meant to use with fabric, which would be nice because they pinch in the staples on the back better than this one does. This one still leaves them where it's kind of rough if you rub your hand over them, or if you're working with a delicate fabric. I wouldn't recommend that because it might snag that fabric, but this stuff is not delicate at all, so it's okay. And then I'm using this little tool. It's a staple remover, so it's easy to take these out when I'm ready to do that, which that's the stage I'm at right now. And you just drive in the tip of this under the staple and it comes right out. And it flew across the room. And I'm trying to neatly collect them so they're not all over the floor. And it actually will store several of the staples down underneath this plastic part, so you can keep removing several at a time and they just stack up there. And then once it's full, then you can empty it out. So there's 3 of them. You see how they just stack up like that? So this is a really handy tool, and it's kind of ergonomic, fits in your hand really nicely. Before I purchased this, I was just using a little screwdriver, which is not ideal or ergonomic, but it worked. But this is much more comfortable, especially the more you use this method, you're gonna want one of these. I think I got this from Wawak. Not sure how you say that. W-A-W-A-K. I think that's how you spell it. And actually, I think I got this one on Amazon, now that I say that. So I'll put a link to this in the description to Amazon, so you can get this. And also this, if you want to just get this one. And you can get lots of staples for the stapler, and this is the same stapler I use when I do ripple fold to staple down the ripple fold tape at the top of the drapery. So I'm at the stage where I'm taking these out, and then I can turn it around right side out. And I got so carried away sewing this together because it was so easy with the staples in there that I sewed all the way around, and I didn't leave myself a section that was open to turn it around. So I went around a second time to reinforce my stitches, and I left a gap between this pin and this pin where I did not go over a second time. So now I have to open my stitches in that section so I can turn this right side out. And then I can do the last step, which is stitching up that hole that I'm gonna leave. And then there's some detailing on the face that I have to do with a zigzag stitch that the client requested. So something different there. So that's where I'm at now. See how it goes. More staples to remove first, and then turn it right side out. Look at how many I got on that one. And I'm trying to collect them on this little magnet so that I don't have them all over my floor, which is dangerous if you step on them. Plus, you don't want them to end up under another sewing project because they are not good for fabric. So I try to keep them tidy and then throw them all away after I have them all out. I'm turning it right side out now that I have an opening to get it out right here. There we go. Now I'm gonna get all the corners nice and pointy. I did clip the corners. show you this one. I just clipped it just like that. Otherwise it's really bulky right there. So now I can point it out. You can use a pointy object, but you have to be really careful with some fabrics that you don't poke through the fabric. And I definitely don't want to do that with this fabric. It's got kind of a big weave, so it would be easy to poke through that one. So I'm just working it with my fingers, and I think it's gonna lay nice without using something pointy. See how pretty? That's the front, this is the back. Now the other end, you have to get your arm all the way in there. That looks good. One more. Okay. I'm happy with that. So now I'm going to press this from the front only because we don't want to put any heat or steam on the chenille on the back. But pressing the front will get the whole thing to lay nice and flat and get the welt right on the edge. And then I can stitch up by hand this opening that I needed to turn it right side out.